Bang, Neeves knives. I'm Jared. My lovely wife Kara is still out infiltrating ant colonies, and today we are doing the second part to sharpeningsupplies.com sharpening magazine. It has all kinds of sharpening supplies. We are on page 18. This was the last page we left off on part 1. So if you want to see all these other pages, go back to part 1. All right. So now these stones are like the Neeves stones. They are a resin bonded. It's got a resin bonded diamond or diamond bonded resin layer that's really thin, and it's spread across the stone. It's very thin though. Like, you see how thin that layer is, but it breaks down very slow, so it lasts a really long time. And it's very low maintenance. They're very expensive. Look at the prices. These things are not cheap, but they last a very long time. They can cut any steel, any super steel they can cut, and they leave a very nice finish. And they're very low maintenance. They're just a splash and go. You just splash water on them and you go. And then every time they get dry, you just splash a little water on them. Very easy. But they are expensive. Now, the thickness in the layer depends on the price. You know, like, so they do different thicknesses. And, you know, the thicker it is, the more expensive it is. Okay, so the Nagura stones, I don't know too much about these, so I'm not going to speak on them. These are just different shaped stones of the Nanawa stones, the Goken. Okay, so now this is a dressing stone. So like, this will be a stone that you'll use to clean and refresh other stones. So like the other Nanawa stones, you can use it to scratch the surface up or to clean the surface. You know, like I was saying, if you were here for part 1, I was talking about how you have to maintain water stones. Well, also, these would be good because these things will build up sometimes, especially the higher the grit, they'll build up. So you use a dressing stone to scrape the top surface, and it'll reveal the diamonds. Okay, so now this is also a flattening stone for flattening water stones. This is a big stone. I don't know anything about it, so I'm not going to speak on it, but that's a big block. You can see the measurements right here. It's pretty big. I don't know anything about this stone either, but they're made by Nanawa and they're water stones, so you can expect probably the same things. Soaking, a mess, flattening, you know, stuff like that. It's going to take a lot more maintenance than some of the other stones we're about to run into. Okay, so now this is a ceramic. This is ceramic stones. I do like ceramic stones. Ceramic stones are really good. They're splash and go. They need no soaking. So you can use ceramic dry, but I find that they do work a little bit better with water. And then these ones say that they're mounted to 5mm thick aluminum base plate. So there's aluminum base plate, and so they're color coordinated depending on how fine they are. And you see you got 70 micron, which is 200 grit, up to 6,000 grit. So they got the 2, 4, 1,000, and 6,000, which is that's a great sharpening pattern, I guess you could say, like going from one stone to the other. You know, going 2, 4, 1,000 to 6,000. That's not bad. This is just a stage, and these are like compartments, like just like a tray for your mess when you have water stones. These are lapping plates, so these are for flattening the water stones and stuff. Now a ceramic stone, it's going to have little to no maintenance. I said this in the first video. Very rarely will you have to lap a ceramic stone, but I'm sure there's different kinds. But the ceramic stones that I've dealt with, I had to lap my fine ones eventually, but it took a long time till I had to. They'll last a very long time, and if you have a nice big stone, it'll last you forever. So here are Ceramic single grit water stones. So these are water stones like before. Double-sided water stones. I have one double-sided water stone. I wasn't too happy with it, but I might take another crack at it. But so they're, they're double-sided water stones. I'm guessing it's going to be two comparable, or two water stones that are a good combination with each other, because like I said before in the last video, like a low grit and a high grit, it might take a little bit different maintenance. I'm just going to skip this page because I can't really speak on these. This is just diamond plates. You can use them for lapping or for sharpening. Lapping plates for flattening other surfaces. So they come in different grits. So you can use it to lap the other stones, to flatten them and do maintenance on them. Or you can use them for sharpening. Let's zoom out on the next page. Okay, Shapton glass. I've never had Shapton glass, but I've heard lots of good things about them. I've heard a couple bad things from some people, but I don't know. I've heard mostly good, so I'm going to speak good on them and say that they are expensive. Like here, look at this. We'll move right over here. Look at this. $306 for 3 stones. That's crazy, right? But like they probably last forever. I think they're a ceramic. Yeah, they're a ceramic stone. Like I said, ceramics are expensive because of the low maintenance. And then you have all the different grits from 120 all the way up to 2,000, all the way up to 30,000 grit. Holy cow! But look at how much it is for that one stone. $360 for that one stone. These things are very expensive. So, and then they're backed by glass, so they got glass to keep them always true and flat. Some people say that those are amazing. If you want to talk to Jeff Jewell about it, I think he knows a lot about them. Shapton glass stone HC series. Just some more Shapton glass if you want to read about them. Let you read about them. Okay, so now here's some Shapton, looks like water stone. Yeah, water stones. I don't know much about these specific ones. I've seen them on Amazon and online. I just can't speak on them because I don't know about them, so I don't want to give wrong information. This is a pond. So what this is so you can have your stone in there, and if water builds up from you spraying water, splashing water, then it'll collect in there, and then you don't have to worry about it getting all over your table. This is just a stone holder. We already talked about this. And then this is a Shapton diamond glass lapping plate. So this is for lapping something that's very, very hard, like ceramic. So, if you are a sharpener that sharpens a lot, you might want something like that. Okay, next. Let's zoom out a little bit. These are all water stones. I'm going to go through this page pretty quickly because I don't know a lot about these. They're saying you got to let them sit in a pot of water for 10 to 20 minutes. And then you can start using them. They are going to take a lot more maintenance than other stones. All different kinds here. And then these are the lapping plates that you're going to use to maintain these, or that you can use to maintain those. It shows you how to flatten. And this is a grinder stone. So, foot-long stone removes metal fast. So this is like something you'll want, say, for like a first stone if you have a bunch of chips and stuff like that, and you just need to grind steel off fast. If you need to remove steel quick, you can use that. Very low grit. Okay, so let me tilt this down just a little bit more. Okay, so now we're getting into some Arkansas stones. Now these are really cool. So now you're going to see here, there's soft, hard black, and then hard translucent. So let me zoom in here. So now you'll notice the soft has like a little bit more grays inside, at least the one I have, personally have. It's a white and has a little bit more grays in there, and you can kind of see it there. Now, there's also a hard Arkansas, which is white. And then the hard translucent, mine's clearer than this. This one has like a really dark hue. But if you put a light bulb up to that thing, you'll be able to see the light transfer through it. Most stones, I think all stones, you can't really get that effect. And then the hard black Arkansas, this is a little bit like, there's a difference though, because there's the hard black Arkansas, there's one that's a little less than the translucent as far as I know, and then there's ones that are like a translucent black, which are like the finest. They're finer than even the translucent. So it's what is this? Soft hard black Arkansas combination stone in wood box. Soft Arkansas on one side, hard black Arkansas on the other. Combination stone gives you a medium and extra fine grit. So I think they're showing it even harder than the soft or hard Arkansas stone. So I'm guessing that they're saying like basically this is the black Arkansas, which is supposed to be finer. Maybe I said that wrong. The black Arkansas is supposedly the most densest Arkansas, and then the translucent is the second. Then it'd be, so it'd go 1, 2, 3, 4 in density, hardness. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this one isn't that much better than this one. This stone is going to be a little bit less finer than this one, but for the price comparison, this, I mean, it's not going to be that much better. But when you're a crazy nut sharpener, you're going to want to get that little bit more finer edge. You know, people were crazy. But Arkansas stones, I highly recommend them. They are great stones. They're oil stones. You can also use soap and water. They cut good. They make a very fine edge. You can get a mirror edge on this, or at least close to a mirror edge. I say that this mine personally, because remember, these are natural stones, so the grits are going to vary, you know, from different cuts. Some cuts are going to be finer than other cuts. They're natural stones. So this, with mine, I would say mine's about a 2,000 grit, 1,500 to 2,000 grit. And then my hard Arkansas is like 800 to 1,000. 1,000 grit. And then my soft is about 600. Maybe 800. And then if you want like a beginning stone, like a stone that you could use the soft, but if you want something to cut a lot of steel, use an aluminum oxide, you know, something like that, and then move to one of these or to one of these. That just works really good. I don't know what the, oh, that's saying it's a soft Arkansas. See, now most of this, like, see this, like this pattern this one has, that's usually the way I see softs, or more in that pattern. I've never seen a all white one like that. Replacement Arkansas stone for Norton 3-stone system. Maybe it's not, and they're just, yeah, I don't know. Oh, they're just, okay, so they're not saying that's a soft. I put that in my head somehow. Maybe I've seen this. Yeah, that's a hard Arkansas. And then the different little, these little pocket stones, that's all that is. Honing oil. Yeah, you can't put just any oil on these, just so you know. Don't put car oil on one of these. Use honing oil. There's all different kinds. It's not very expensive. I used to buy mine for about $5-6 a bottle. But soap and water works really good. All right, so this is some more oil stones. So like, and that's why the aluminum oxide stones go so good with the Arkansas, because they're all oil stones. They're very hard, take a little less maintenance, a little bit less of a mess. And then you see all these, like the 8x2 fine and coarse combination oil. So this looks like it's one of those stones we were looking at from the first video, where it's in India, and an aluminum oxide stone combination, and then this would be like an Arkansas stone. Then this is stropping compound. So, oh yeah, you can see the comparison chart. Soft Arkansas 600 to 800, hard Arkansas 800 to 1,000, translucent See how that happens? See how it's saying 1200 plus? Because it's hard to say how high it'll go because there's different cuts. So some cuts are going to be a little finer than others. And then this one's saying, see the price difference? Or remember the price difference? This one was more expensive, even though it's kind of the same thing. But yeah, you can see. Now, like I said before, though, they're going to be a finer edge than like a diamond, or, you know, just like a waterstone's going to be a little different than other ones. Okay, so let's check these out. This is a Belgian blue whetstone. I know nothing about those. Natural sharpening stones. Okay, so they're for like razors and leather workers and stuff. I don't know anything about them. They supposedly start at 4,000 grit though, so they're very high grit. So it's a very fine stone. I bet you these things are really, really hard. I just wonder if they're... Oh, they're a water stone. Maybe they're not very hard. They're comparable to Japanese water stones. They're not very expensive though. I don't know. I don't know much about them. Now this is a... excuse me. Codicule whetstone. I don't know anything about this either. Made in Belgium. I'm not even going to speak on it because I don't know about it. This is strops, stropping compounds, and it's just showing like a kit, basically. A fine and a coarse combination. And then, so they're giving you a coarse and a fine, 8x2. What's the price? So you're getting 4 stones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, not 4. You're getting 2 stones, double-sided a piece. So this is basically 4 stones or 4 different grits. 2 stones, 4 grits, and then they're giving you the oil and the green compound plus a leather strop. If you buy it separately, you can get it cheaper. That's all I'm going to say. But it depends. I mean, maybe you just want one-stop shop and you don't want to have to worry about your stuff coming, you know, like all different times and everything else. And yeah, so it depends. And those were big stones. They weren't small. They were 8x2. How to use a strop. If you want to read that, you can. I'm not teaching how to use a strop right now. Okay. So this is strops, stropping compounds. I'm not really talking about strops, stropping compounds right now. It's another leather. This is the same thing. This is for strops and diamond compounds. So this is like a synthetic material, and you use the diamond spray on it. So it's another way of having a strop. This is wood and leather. Okay, so now this is leather belts. You know, you can strap them to something and use them. These are those, you've seen these I'm sure before, where people check their edges and they have this guide. You can see how fine their edge is. If you haven't, you can read about it really quick. It's got this little media that goes inside here, and then you cut it, and when you cut it, it gives you a weight, and it tells you basically how fine your edge is. Okay, I'm gonna flip past these. These are just electric sharpeners. Yeah, I don't really recommend these. I highly say do not. I should just rip this page out. Don't use stuff like that. If you want to mess your knives up, use stuff like that. These I don't recommend them. I know they work, and they're not at a very high RPM, so they're not really gonna burn your edge. But that's one of the biggest things with electric sharpeners, is that you can burn your edge if you're not careful. You need to make sure you're using wet, you know, like wetting down your blade or wetting down the belt. You don't want to burn your edge up. So, and that can help your edge get very chippy and stuff. A lot of people like this thing right here. These are Work Sharp guided systems. I've seen people use these, but I mean, I don't like them. I've bought the plates for these and used them for sharpening. I've never bought the system, but I use the plate sometimes. Sometimes I need me a little diamond plate, and I put it on my clamp. Let's see what that is. All right, let's go. Okay, so now these are, was that a wicked edge? Yeah, wicked edge. It just says it right there. Wicked edges are expensive. Look at this whole system, the whole Pro Pack. $1,250. This one, the Pro Pack, so I'm sure you can get it cheaper somewhere else, but just the regular pack, $500, and you get all these stones, and yeah, not cheap at all. These are fixed angled systems, so you don't have to freehand. You can just clamp your knife in and go. Okay, I have this stone right here. This is the Spyderco medium. I have a fine and an extra fine, but it's from the Lansky system, and that's how I use it. If I ever need to use that stone, I don't mind even doing it on a big blade. You know, it just takes a little bit longer. But these are very good stones, though. No maintenance. Well, not no maintenance. Little maintenance. They don't wear very fast, and they're easy to maintain. They last forever. I mean, just great stones. But they also are very expensive. Let's see what the price is on these ones. Yeah, see, they're not cheap. Okay, pocket stones. This is kind of like the Lansky system, but I do not recommend this because you can get the Lansky system for $50, get 5 stones. This one's, I think, diamond, though, for $100. So, I mean, the thing is that you only have the clamp, so you have to hold that clamp. You're going to hold the clamp, and then, like, say if this is the knife, you're going to have to hold it and then sharpen it like this while you're holding it. Like, so it's just, it's not smart. You want a base. It's so much easier with a base. So if they have a base that they'll sell, then that's cool. But you can get the Lansky system with the diamond stones and then the base is separate. This is the clamp thing I was just talking about that you have to hold in your hand. Think about how awkward that'd be to hold in your hand and put these rods through these holes. Just crazy. But if you have the base is like $12. Okay. Oh, here it is. There's the Lansky system right there. Now the base, I don't see the base. Oh, there it is right there. So $10. Ha! I lied. So you can get this whole system right here. The professional one for $45 with this, and then plus $10 with that. Now, if you want the diamond stones, so the whole thing with the diamond stones, $80 plus this. I recommend that over the other one because you're getting the diamond plus the other stones. And you can always just buy this and then later on buy the extra diamond stones. They're like $7, between $7 and $15 a piece. So what you could do is just buy this system if you want a fixed system and you don't have hundreds of dollars to spend on your sharpening stuff. You can buy this system plus the tripod, then wait a couple weeks and order some diamond stones separately. Very easy. People have seen these. They're just sticks, and then you take your edge and you got to run it down each side just like this. You're just basically taking your knife and you got to hold it nice and straight and you run it down it. There you go, right there. Alright, these are rods. I talked about them in the first one. They are very, I recommend them. I do like using rods sometimes. I've used them many, many times. I like the ceramic ones, and the diamond ones work very well. So I just don't get the metal ones. The metal ones are stupid. This is, I don't know. We're not even going to talk about what this is because I don't know what that is. Just a bunch of stuff. Let's see if there's anything else. So these, I'm guessing, are for like knife makers and stuff. Yeah, just grinders and stuff like that. We're mostly talking knife sharpening stuff, so yeah, we don't want to see none of that stuff. This is how they sharpen in these electric sharpeners. They have these 2 wheels, and your knife goes in between these 2 wheels and grinds against it. And then here's another one. You run your blade down here, and these 2 things like go like this as you're running your blade down. I think it's a horrible idea to do to your edge. I do not think it's very smart. I think you will tear your edge apart. Then this is the belts for the different belt sharpeners and stuff, and then the dressings for them. Okay, this is the clamping system I have. I like these. These work very well. You can put any stones in them. And then here's another thing. I highly recommend a jeweler's loop. These, did you get them way cheaper than this? Don't look at that price. That's a stupid price. Throw that out. You can get 40 magnification for $10. Even cheaper than that. With a battery already in it and everything. Heck, I'll show you one right now. I got this for $10. It's got the battery already in it. You have two different, and it comes with a little tool to take out the battery. This is 40 magnification. It works very well with a carrying case. That's the little tool to take out the battery, and the batteries last a long time. Yeah, come on, don't pay that price. But get one if you want a free hand, or if you want to look at your edge and see what you're doing. This is for a sink, so you get one of these, and then you can sit at your sink and sharpen, so the mess goes into your sink. Same thing with this. These are for like a bench stone, so like if you're just going to do it at a bench and you're not worried about that, you can just get one of these. If you're going to use oil stones, ceramic stones, diamond stones, all that stuff, get these. You can also use water stones on them. It's just you're going to have a mess underneath. You might want one of those trays we seen earlier. Then these are just guides. They're guided systems to help you learn how to freehand. I recommend just going at it though, man. You might want to get one of those little bases that go on the stone, and that's it. Like, don't get something that actually holds it, and because you're never gonna learn how to the feeling. But if you just have the little base on the one side of the stone, that might work. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, that's just basically the same stuff we looked at. And if you want to read about them, I'll leave it here. This is some of the stuff from the first video. And then, but we went over all the stuff. This is just, I don't know, talking about stuff. And then sharpening tips, sharpening angles. And there you guys go. Peace out.